Today on Match Play, the women's basketball team clinches AJ Burnett to the Pirates, and NASCAR Daytona 500 starting up this Sunday. Get ready, 3 segments, only 1 winner. Match Play starts right now. Hello everybody, and welcome to the best sports talk show in the Mon Valley. It's our 3rd installment of Match Play. It only gets better, and I'm your host, Scott Majesky, joined by William Moore and Joshua Titus Laska. Guys, how are we doing today?
Great. I'm happy to be back on the show. It's been a long time since I've been a part of the Match Play atmosphere. I've been in the control room. I slept through a taping of Match Play, but hey, I'm finally here. I'm ready to roll. Let's do this. Bring it on.
I'm ready to roll too. It's been a while since I was last on as well, and I just want to play with matches today.
Let's do it.
All right, well, we'll tip it off with women's basketball. The women's basketball team clinched a playoff seed. Right now, they're the 4th spot in the PSAC West. Titus?
Yeah, they are the 4th spot in PSAC West. Right above them is IUP, but the problem with that is if they stay with this 4th spot, they will be having to travel to Edinburgh twice in 3 days, so it could be very interesting for them.
Well, you know, one thing I find interesting about this whole thing is California, they find themselves in a little bit of a hot streak right now. They've won 4 straight games, including that one against ranked IUP, who was number 17 at the time that they played them. And the last few games, California has looked really strong. And I think the way this team's playing right now, there's a chance they could hang with any team in the country. I don't know about Edinburgh. They are one tough cookie behind Mickey Cicero, but you know, I'm giving them the opportunity. You know, I wouldn't count Cal out against anyone right now.
Now we know they have 2 seniors that can really step up, Danielle Luck and Amy Johns. Is there somebody else, maybe an underclassman? Chelsea McKnight's been playing well in the beginning of the season, but she's cooled off lately. Yeah,
she has really cooled off lately. I would say Raya Gatson has really turned it on in the second half of this semester, season, whatever you want to call it. She's just came out a lot lately and was able to put up, I think, 10 points in the last game. So you got to look towards her to help take some of those points from the seniors, so they don't have to score as many.
Well, you know, one I'm looking at, me and Allison talked about a little bit during the actual basketball game. Nakia DeBlanc has been really impressive. She's been that big physical presence for California. And earlier in the season, she was having trouble staying out of foul trouble during games. But in recent installments, most recently against on Mercyhurst on Saturday, and then Wednesday before that, she had some playing time. She was strong. She was a physical presence, which is what you want from her. But at the same time, she was doing a good job of playing clean, staying out of foul trouble. And she's really brought another dimension to this team that they haven't seen through the early goings. And I think it's really helping them out, as well as bringing back some other players that were out earlier in the season, like Stephanie Michael. And, of course, our, what's her name now? Elena Antonenko, excuse me. My mental lapse.
Yeah, and they got a tough one against Edinburgh. There's still chances for them to move up there in the scene. A team, the men's basketball team, right now they sit in 4th place, but there's a lot of drama here going on. They got Clarion, big matchup. If they can clinch, if they can win, they pretty much clinch. But also Edinburgh's still fighting up there, too. These are going to be an interesting final 2 games, Will.
Well, you know, a couple weeks ago, if you would have asked me where California was sitting in these standings, I would have said they'd be fighting for their playoff lives. But right now, they've got the inside track. And it's really a credit to this team. They have been so impressive. They came out against that number 13 IUP team a couple weeks ago on that Wednesday night. What a great game that was. They came out, won that game. Then they dropped one to Slippery Rock. When you're playing the top 3 teams in the West, you know, it's hard to come away with wins against all 3, considering where you are. You're somewhere between, you know, 4th and 6th in the standings. But then they get Mercyhurst, another team that they could have easily laid down to. They were down 11 at one point, and they fought their way back in that game, and they really showed some character. I was really impressed with Vulcan men's basketball on Saturday.
I was very impressed with them as well. You got to like that fact that they've now beat the top 2 teams in the region, going to Mercyhurst and beating them, which is a pretty tough place to play. You also have to like that they now control their destiny. If they win on Wednesday, they clinch their position 4th and will travel to IEP, I believe. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, they will travel there, and it should be a good chance for them. They just got to control their own destiny, get the seniors to put in as many points as they have been, like Steve Swick and CJ Towns and QH, Quentin Harding. You got to remember that they're all going to be there, and they got to this tough challenge on Wednesday against Clarion. Last year they won on a final second tip in by Quentin Harding.
And we talked real quick about how California's women's team has had players step up. I've really liked the play of Freddie Apia lately, and Jeremy Posey has come on really strong the last couple games. 14 points, led all scorers for California on Saturday. He's been really good.
Yeah, him and Ty now are both fighting for pretty much that. Who's the freshman of this team? Freshman player year of this team. We're getting in the spring. Temperatures are warming up, liking it. Spring training starting up and everything. Baseball and softball underway. Well, the baseball team just playing today against Penn State Greater Allegheny.
Yeah, they are coming off a couple big wins. They beat Fairmont State the other day, 18-5 and 3-2 in a doubleheader. And then today in the first game, at the time we went to air, they had defeated Penn State Greater Allegheny in the first game 9-1. Impressive stuff from the Cal men's baseball team. Mike Conti always brings a tough squad out. And they've got some good seniors. Pat Gannon's one of those good relief pitchers for the Vulcans. And then Troy Hansdra, he's been great through the years. He's a senior. He's the leadoff man. I expect big things for this team. They're expected to finish second in the PSAC. So big stuff for California men's baseball. PSAC championship, not out of the question.
Going up to Lilly Field now, right up there in Roman Park. How's the softball team looking this year, Titus?
Well, they're about to start their season. Started on Friday against Limestone, South Carolina, in a tournament down there. They'll play a couple other teams, including Alderson Broadus of the Wiviac. And you got to look towards all of their Canadian players, including Shelby Lee, Natalie Weidman, and Jill Russell, all who have played on the Canadian national team. So, like, they're looking very well this year. Good chance that they could take yet another national championship, and are also picked to finish second in the PSAC, this time behind Mercyhurst.
Yeah, I don't know which team I'm going to give that edge to as far as which one's got a chance to win the PSAC championship. I like them both. They're both picked to finish second, but you know, the women's team has had a lot of success in the past, and Titus alluded to those players playing on the Canadian national team. We've got some great stuff. I really like the play of Jillian Russell, and she has shown steady improvement. And I see Cal softball. I want to say the women's softball team's got this more of a chance of winning the PSAC championship than the men's team. Not that the men don't have a chance. They're as contenders as anybody is.
Well, you can throw your opinions out. Also, you can throw out your questions too. Follow us on Twitter at CUTV25 for get your fan topic out there. Do hashtag matchplay, or like us on Facebook at matchplay for your fan topic. Right now, our match play is going to consist of something up there on the SAI farms, which I got to yesterday to experience for the first time, and I love it. Disc golf, Josh. It's fun.
Oh, it is a lot of fun. You get a really good exercise getting out there, tossing a little disc, banging a little chain. you gotta like going up there and just getting a chance to go outside and enjoying the weather, especially this time of year where it's a little bit colder and you wouldn't normally expect to be outside, but you still have a lot of fun, even trenching around in the snow when there is snow on the ground.
Well, we haven't seen much snow this winter, which has been great for the disc golfers up there. I know our own Gary Smith gets up there a couple times a week, and he is an avid disc golfer. I've hit the links a few times up there, and it's steadily improving. Every time they mow up there, every time they do some more work, it gets a little bit better. If you haven't been up there in a while, go on up. Check out the disc golf course. It's really good. If you want to get involved, the best part is they've got discs in Heron Hall, so you can just go down, show them your Cal card, they'll lend them to you, and free of charge. Just go on up and play. Like Titus said, it is a fantastic, I guarantee you'll be huffing and puffing by the time you get to the top of the hill, but it's so much fun. It's a great opportunity, even for new people. Yeah,
beautiful scenery up there, too. I know me and Clint Logan went up there yesterday, just looking over the hills and everything. Beautiful views and everything. Right now, there's a bunch of jaggers around, so you don't want to miss a shot, so come prepared and everything. But it's a really fun course to play at. I mean, just a growing sport here around the Cal campus. Well, like we said, follow us on Twitter at CUTV25 And then like us on Facebook, Match Play, send in your questions and everything. It was a fun Cal U segment, but we're just heating up here on Match Play. Regional topics coming your way next. It's black and gold time.
You are watching CUTV, California University Television.
Welcome back to Match Play, second segment. Starting up here, Will Moore, Joshua Titus, Laska, Scott Majesky bringing you it here. Will, AJ Burnett, spring training, all starting up. He's now a Pirate.
I love this. This is one of the best moves, in my opinion. I know a lot of people are saying, this wasn't the right move for the Pirates to make. I completely disagree with this because AJ Burnett, he is this guy. He's got the experience. He's got the resume that the Pirates are looking for. And where else do they need help? Pitching, starting pitching. Oh, it's atrocious last year. I credit it for being the reason that they were so awful down the stretch. They just didn't have the pitching to hold up. Now you get AJ Burnett in there. He can be that solid rock of a starting pitcher you're looking for. You can build around it and put your new guys in, let him help them out, show what he knows. And everyone has been clamoring the Pirates don't spend money. Well, they spent the money now, 2-year contract on AJ Burnett. I love this move, Titus.
See, I disagree with this move completely because of one name, Matt Morris. We did the same thing 6 years ago or whatever it was. And the fact that we brought him in to try to be that role player for pitching and the fact that he never showed what he came in here for. And it was just a huge waste of money. Though I agree with the fact that we do need more pitchers in Pittsburgh. I just don't know if AJ Burnett is the person with, I mean, we didn't give up that much. We gave up money and a couple lower players, but I just don't know if he's that player that we really need because we don't know what we're going to get with him. Last year was 11-11, which should be better in the National League than the American League, but you just don't know what you're getting with.
What I don't see is that I feel like, you know, people complain if they don't bring in a pitcher like AJ Burnett, but when they do, people are going to complain anyway. Mm-hmm. You know, I guess Bob Nutting's got the tough job there because he's going to take the fall for this either way. I hopefully, as a Pirates fan, I want to see this pan out for the Pirates. I want to see AJ Burnett have a tremendous year.
Well, after 19 years of losing, everyone's going to complain about everything. And Neil Huntington and Bob Nutting have done a very good job. Moving on now, the real deal, James Neal getting signed to a 6-year, $5 million annually, $30 million over those 6 years. Titus, do you like it?
I love that deal. It's a great deal, especially now that, you know, no one knows really what Crosby's doing, if he's going to come back or if he's going to retire or whatnot. And it seems like James Neal has stepped in there to take Crosby's place. He may not be as great of a player yet, but definitely in the 6 years he's going to be just as good of a player for the Penguins.
Well, you know what I love about this deal, Scott, is that James Neal, he is so young. He's got so much room to develop. The girls love him. He's an attractive guy. You can't complain. You can't argue.
I guess, yeah.
But what I was getting to is that James Neal, he's got so much room to develop. Mm-hmm. I think we've only scratched the surface of what James Neal can be for this team. We saw him come in last year, and people were immediately questioning that trade. You remember he was so cold at the end of last year.
Only one goal.
Right, and then he came in this year. People had some questions about him, and he silenced the doubters rather quickly, turning one of the best scoring threats the Penguins have. And he has paid dividends already. And I think the Penguins, they can only go up from this. James Neal, sky's the limit on this guy. He's got everything you're looking for in a superstar type player. He could be that guy in a couple years.
Now, real quick, is this an insurance policy in case a certain number 87 decides to hang up the skates?
I don't think it is. I feel that like they see that now he's actually figured out that his position in the Penguins organization and are able, like, he's actually picked up all the play and all that, and now he knows, like, that's why he turned so much on at this beginning of the season compared to the end of last season.
I'll keep my answer short. No.
Well, a team that has been struggling in the Peterson Events Center and now is on a 4-game losing streak, and they might not even be on the bubble for this matter and might actually be faulting an NIT invitation as the Pittsburgh Panthers. Usually we're talking right now around this time of, oh, are they a number 1 seed, number 2 seed, Titus?
Yeah, I feel that they're just packing it in. They're just done for the season. They don't even really care. I mean, the way how bad they've been playing lately, I don't even want to see them in the tournament because they're going to lose in the first round. There's no point for them to even try to be there. The only way that they're going to get there is if they win like the NIT tournament because they're not winning the Big East.
Well, you know, I'll take the other side of this argument. I would like to see them slip into the tournament as one of those underdog teams because it seems every year they come into the NCAA
favorite
tournament and they're a number 1 or a number 2 seed, and everyone's saying, oh, Pitt, Sweet 16, Elite 8. They're going Elite 8. They've got to do it. Mm-hmm. This year, you know, you put them in there at a 14, 15, 16 seed. If they can even get in. I know they're making the tournament field bigger this year, but if they can slip in, who knows? Maybe they've got a chance to surprise some people. We've seen what this Pitt team is capable of at times this season. Trayvon Woodall, whenever he came back, he made a big splash on this team, and it just seems like they've cooled off. I don't know what's wrong with this team right now, but I'll tell you one thing. I know Jamie Dixon. He's a guy who knows how to work the system, knows how to make his players use the roles, fulfill the roles that he needs in order to win basketball games. And I don't want to think this is going to last. I mean, I know that they are a bubble team right now, if that, but I still like Pitt. I don't want to count them out just quite yet.
Yeah, it might not be a very interesting March for Pitt Panthers fans. Hunting season, new rules. You don't have to wear your hunting license anymore on the outside. New regulations there, Will.
Yeah, I really like this. It kind of takes a little bit of the red tape away for as far as hunting and going out in the field. And you know, Titus, I know you know a little bit about this as well. You know, you've got your hunting license. Traditionally, you have to put it on your back. You have to display it. It has to be there at all times, clearly visible. But, you know, I never understood the point of this because if a game warden's going to wander up to you while you're out in the woods hunting, and he's not going to just glance at your back and see that you're good. If he's going to wander all the way out into the middle of nowhere to find you, he's going to want to look at it, you know, make sure it's current. Mm-hmm. In which case, why do you have to have it displayed? Why don't you just keep it in your pocket, keep it in your jacket, and then if you need to display it, you pull it out, you keep it dry, you don't have it flopping around on your back, you don't have a chance of losing it that way. It just is a common sense move for me, Titus.
Nah, dumb. That's the way I'm going to go with. Because the fact that now you just have a bunch of idiots out there without no license just running around with guns. And, I mean, yes, your point makes sense, but the fact that now it's a lot easier for people to just fake having a license because now the game commissions are going to have to go out into the woods to find you instead of, you know, looking from the road and, like, just looking for that shiny orange thing that tells you where you're actually legal to hunt. But, I mean, it could be good and bad, especially nowadays where, you know, if they get an RFID chip in it, then that'd be a great idea.
So they could just scan it from the road
yeah.
and be done. It's an idea.
It's an idea.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think everybody that goes out and hunts are crazy people with guns anyways, but that's just my opinion because I'm not a big hunter kind of guy. We got national topics coming up next, so don't go anywhere. The final segment of Match Play coming your way. Welcome back to the third and final segment of Match Play. We're going coast to coast, and you gotta love it as Linsanity guys. Will, you have the basketball. I guess you're in spirit for this Linsanity action.
What? Yes, let's do this. Linsanity. See, if Jeremy Lin took that shot, there's not even a basketball hoop in this studio, but it would find it. Jeremy Lin has been spectacular. You believe this guy? I love this story. It's one of my favorite stories of the year. It's Tim Tebow-esque, except you put him in a basketball uniform, and it's tremendous because he is one of these guys that nobody expected him to come. Where did he come from? Nobody knows.
Harvard.
Oh yeah, he came from Harvard, and what I love about the story is he's a guy that no one gave a shot, but he's always succeeded. He's been a success in high school. He was one of the top players on his team in high school. Ended up playing at Stanford. He was a star at Stanford, but everyone said he was too small. He wasn't good enough. He wasn't going to make it. Now, despite him being a star everywhere he's played, now he's in the NBA. He gets his shot. Love it. It's a great comeback story.
I'm not jumping on this bandwagon just yet because of the fact that you have to remember Carmelo Anthony is not playing right now. I mean, when he comes back, I think Lynn's going to taper off a little bit, but he's still going to be a good player. He's not going to be putting up his 20, 30 points a game that he's putting up now, seeing as how he's averaging, I think, 16 or something a game. I just don't think it's going to happen as soon as Carmelo Anthony and a couple of the other players that are injured come back.
You know, I have to say, as far as bringing back Carmelo and stuff, do you want to mess with this right now? I mean, I'll ask you, Scott, as well.
Well, you want to have another.
I don't think you want to screw with this right now. Not with the success they're having, you know?
Well, Carmelo's going to come back. You need to put a superstar like that on the floor with Jeremy Lin and everything. But the way he's been having, it's only been 8 games, though, or 9 games. So I'd like to see a couple years of this. But, guys, it's spring training. I can feel it. I can hear the crack of the wood. Leather all over the place. Who is your American League front runners there, Josh?
I'm going to go Tampa Bay. As you know, that's my favorite team in the American League. Oh, come on. You're going to go Yankees. I know you.
I was going to go Orioles, but...
You must go Blue Jays. Or Cleveland.
Okay.
I'm not done.
Let's go. You got time. I want to talk here.
Cleveland would be my second choice, Detroit. And then in the National League, it would be Texas, Philly, and probably St. Louis.
You know, interesting you bring up St. Louis. I'll talk about this because the NL Central is really the most interesting division to me because everywhere else, I looked across the standings. I looked where people finished. I looked at the differences. I'm looking Yankees, Tigers, Rangers, pretty much similar to last year. Then you've got,
well, hold on, not the Anaheim Angels with Pujols and C.J. Wilson.
That's an interesting one. You bring in Albert Pujols. You turn this second place team. They could be that bubble. They could jump up and take that division. But that's going to be an interesting fight as well. But I don't think there's one as wide open as the NL Central. You had the Cardinals who are coming off of the World Series. But you know, you got the Brewers, the Reds, the Pirates, I think, are going to play. I think all those teams have a legitimate argument at the division crown this year. And it's just going to be a dogfight in the Central. That's the one I see being the most interesting come August, September, whenever that rolls around.
Who out of the NL East? Phillies and Marlins. Those might be the 2 front runners.
I'm personally hoping it's Phillies. But I want to go back real quick and touch on what he said on the fact that the Brewers are going to be a front runner. I really don't think they are going to be because you got to remember Ron's going to be out for 50 games. And going back to what you said about the Angels, I think that Pujols is going to help them, but the fact that they kind of lost some pitching, it kind of hurts them too.
Phillies, to answer.
We have a streaking team going on right now and at home, and that is in the NHL with the Detroit Red Wings. But guys, they're in first place in the West, but only by 2 points. Vancouver's right behind them.
Yeah, the Canucks are right there behind them. Not saying the Canucks are a bad team. That's not really saying. Just to say they're only 2 points ahead, they're only 2 points ahead of the Canucks. There's a difference there. They're one of the best teams in the West as well. The Red Wings, you know this, Titus? At Joe Louis Arena, the Detroit Red Wings are on a 23-game winning streak at home. They have not lost. I don't see that in your notes.
It is, but I had the wrong number.
They're on a 6-game winning streak overall, 23 at home. You kidding me? If you win all of your home games, you're gonna win. You're gonna win the cup.
It's impressive.
It was
incredible.
It was on my notes, except I had 24 because I'm done.
Are you thinking ahead?
Yeah, I'm thinking ahead. But the fact is, they're only 500 on the road. You can't win a championship with being 500 on the road. You got to win some games on the road too. Whereas the Canucks, they are a lot better on the road and at home. They don't have the 23-game winning streak, but they're a lot better in the road and everywhere else.
Now, as we look on the east side, though, you see the Atlantic Division. You have the Rangers in first place. You have the Devils in 4th, Flyers in 5th, Penguins in 6th. Is that the best division in hockey right now, Will?
there's really no argument against it. They really are the best out there. You take a look at the Rangers. They're arguably the best team in hockey, you know, with Brandon Dubinsky and company there. They have been consistent home and on the road, something the Red Wings can't claim. I would give that to the Atlantic Division right now. When you've got the Penguins down there scumming around like second, third place, fighting to hang in there, you know, in the division, man, and they're a good team.
Yes, that's my answer to your question. And I will agree with the Rangers.
Well, the Daytona 500 starts up this Sunday as we go left, and then we go left, and then we go left again. Jimmy Johnson is going to be the predicted #1 driver.
I can't even go with that. No. Jimmy Johnson, no. You got 2 Fords on the front row. That's all that really matters. You have Carl Edwards and Greg Biffle starting on the front row after winning the Gatorade Tools. I really feel that they're going to be your 2 front runners in the Daytona 500 just because of the fact that they are so good this year with the way they got their motor test sets and everything like that.
I'm rooting for Dale Jr. No, okay, I'm going to be honest about this. No, you know, I do like Jimmy Johnson. I think he has shown over the past couple years he's the best there is in NASCAR. He's won multiple championships, championship on top of championship on top of championship. He's the guy going out any given race. He is the most likely to win a race any given Sunday. And, you know, I think he's got the opportunity. This is his year. He's going to win it again. He's taken the Daytona. He's taken the Sprint Cup Series. And it's going to be an exciting matchup come Sunday.
They've been waiting for Dale Earnhardt Jr. to speed up and get out there and race him. But Jimmy Johnson, 6 out of the past 7.
Yeah, he has been very good. And Junior, no, not going to happen again this year. He's just not a good racer. He should go back to Nationwide and tool around with Danica Patrick, and maybe they can win the championship down there.
As long as Jeff Gordon doesn't win it, because Jeff Gordon is a crybaby.
I'll agree with that.
Any hope for Danica this year? One word answer.
Maybe 1 win. Maybe.
I was gonna go with the Anchorman line. She's a woman. No, she's got an opportunity. She's a good race car driver, so you know I don't want to throw her under the bus. She's got an opportunity to.
She's smart in the way that she's starting in Nationwide, unlike Juan Pablo Montoya, who came from the same IndyCar background, and it took him a while to get his roots. So I feel she has a better chance to get at least 1 win this year.
I'm sorry, Titus. I can't hear what you're saying over Allison over here talking.
Yeah, I can't hear myself either.
Anyways, we're going to get serious here for a minute. Somebody's got to win this. And guys, I had fun. I love this show. I thought it was one of our better ones.
It was.
It's a good broadcast.
Josh, you did very well in the Cal topics. Will, I thought, did extremely well in regional. But in national, I think Will pulled it out in the end. And therefore, Will MVP Moore is your winner.
Good game, buddy.
Thank you very much. I'm going to take a quick second here and use my victory time to talk about McGuffey High School football. We're doing it this year. We've dropped a AA. We're back where we belong. We're going to be a major AA power. And they brought in Ed Dalton, who, if you follow high school football at all, you know that he had some political trouble going on with the Trinity High School scoreboard. He turned Trinity's AAA program around, turned them into a power before they released him. And I think you put McGuffey in AA, you give them Ed Dalton. You're looking at a conference champion here, maybe making a run at Heinz Field next year. McGuffey Highlanders, I'm calling it now.
We'll follow the Highlanders all fall along on High School Roundup. As you know, you can catch that. Best show in the Mon Valley, by the way. Anyways, thank you for watching Match Play. William Moore, Joshua Titus, Laska.
Deuces.
Thank you guys for coming on. I'm your host, Scott Majesky. Like us on Facebook. Follow us at Twitter at CUTV25. And we'll see you next week.